And we're live. It is Monday night, May 2nd. Welcome to the one. I don't think I have a real viewer. I think I have a bot. I think there's a bot viewing this. I don't know. So anyway, welcome to anybody that's even if you're a bot, even if you're a software bot sent by the NSA to spy on me. Anybody that shows up, welcome to another Monday night chill stream. Tonight's show. Oh, by the way, make sure to smash up that like button. You got to smash up the like button because there is a minimum level of feedback that a dude needs. To keep this high quality content rolling through. You think this what I do? You say, well, you make it look so easy. You make it look like effortless. That's true. But that's just one of the free services I offer. But seriously, tonight's show, separation of powers. Today is a day where my audience, or a big part of my audience, the majority of whom are democracy haters, they're like, democracy sucks, man. Democracy sucks. Well, if Twitter is correct, and they're pushing this for about an hour or so, it seems like the Supreme Court has uncorked, has really poked the liberal bear. If the early reporting is correct, somebody leaked from the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court's going to overturn Roe versus Wade. So Roe v. Wade, the abortion law in the United States, is about to be overturned, which means no more human sacrifices to Moloch. And for the followers of Moloch, they're not going to be fucking happy. They have the gates up around the Supreme Court, some fencing and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow in Washington, D.C. I don't know what it's going to be here. What's it going to be here, I wonder? I'll assume that any weather that we have uh, locally will match what's going on down in DC. So 67 degrees tomorrow, partly cloudy, with a 7% chance of rain. So says my smartphone. And so that means there could be a lot of people. There could be a lot of people unhappy with the SCOTUS decision showing up tomorrow. But that's democracy, right? Democracy, as I've said in the past, is a decentralized approach to problem solving. So there's no one central power, no one monarch or authoritarian figure. There's a multi-pronged approach to problem solving. And as much as the democracy haters are really just whiny little fucking children who aren't happy that things aren't happen, what they want isn't happening fast enough. I think by tomorrow, all of a sudden they're going to be like, hey, the Constitution's not such a badly written document after all. I'm kind of like into it. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, democracy's tomorrow. If the Supreme Court really has overturned Roe v. Wade, and I don't have a dog in this fight, so, but it's a hugely contentious issue in this country. People are crazy on either side. If they overturn that, man, that's gonna be a very, very big deal. But that's the whole point of decentralized power, right? That eventually it corrects itself. That's the whole point of constitutions. A set of rules that your grandfather lived under, your father lived under, you live under, your son will live under, your grandson will live under. That's the whole idea of it. Now, the people can argue, well, it's it doesn't happen as quickly as I'd like, and I want it to go faster. Well, you either want stability and durability, or you want instant gratification. You know what I mean? And being high time preference in every other thing is considered a negative, right? By most of the people that follow this channel, right? Most people, you see high time preference people, and you look down on them as your moral and mental inferiors because they can't wait, right? They have no patience. However, low time preference people are praised constantly, right? Well, a lot of the democracy haters are really high time preference. You know what I mean? They think their lifetime and their lifespan is the most fucking important chunk of history, right? This super tiny slice of fucking time on this earth is the most important fucking period, and everything that you think should happen ought to happen on the fucking schedule you want it to fucking happen, or else whatever. Let's throw out the baby with the bathwater. The more deeply I think about this, the more often I meditate on this, and I see another facet and another facet of this, the more contempt I have for these fucking retards. And I would love to have a conversation with them on a rooftop, but that's not going to happen. And I don't think introducing them to the law of gravity is legal yet. I mean, it could become legal. We never know. The Supreme Court is full of wonderful surprises these days. So, all sorts of good things could be around in the future, but 2022 turned out to be pretty lit, yo. Pretty well lit, yo. And I said it was going to be lit. I'm not even going to show that because that's boring. Well, you know what? Fuck it, I'll show it. I'll show it just to test. We're going to test the screen share ability of the what I'm doing right now. I shut off everything. I shut off my I shut off everything that's not absolutely needed right now. Hoping that it would manage the resources better. Let's see. Let's take a look. Things aren't really speeding up the way I kind of want them to. I'm hitting share screen, and I'm still forcing myself to be patient. Still forcing myself to be patient. Come on now. At this point, just wait. This is old too. I just want to like clean up some. My Elon Musk, all of them conspiring against me, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Rose. Well, it's like every time I think, all right, I'm going to cut it. I'm just gonna bail on this. It goes like one step more. It's like no, step more, and one step. So bailing on this fucking thing. It's not going to do what I want it to do. All right, fuck. And just delete you. Oh man, for so long. Maybe. We get something different. All right, waiting for Singular, want client something. Wow. Everything's still not working out the way I want. Okay, who's here? A bot. Are we being stream sniped by one of these Fed channels who are so shitty at fucking generating content? They have to come over here. They have to come over to my crummy 1-bedroom apartment in New Jersey and find content because in the exceptionally limited world in which they're allowed to operate, they, two subjects of the two subjects of the Jews suck and G isn't Hitler great. Insufficient. They don't even have the ability to do what I do. Like here's okay. So we're gonna go to screen share this time. This one's gonna work. I promise. All right, that's a false promise. Probably not gonna work. This one ought to work. But before you get too excited about the SCOTUS decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, we have to consider this. Oh, now I have 2 viewers. Oh man, the numbers. I'm doing such big numbers. 2 viewers, 1 bot and 1 Fed. Welcome, Mr. Roboto, and welcome to our buddies probably out there in the fucking Utah NSA Center. You heard is that first screenshot? I had it up there for too long. That's why it wouldn't load. I don't understand. All right, from Fox News, DC elementary school gave 4-year-old anti-racism fist book. I guess that's one of these, like, Black Power fist, asking them to identify racist family members. So this is straight out of the Soviet Union, right? Your parents on the collective farm are not working the collective part really hard, but they're working their own private little vegetable plot, and hiding fucking whatever vegetables they grow in Russia. Well, listen, son, turn them into the KGB, and we'll give you a Hero of the Soviet Union award and put you on television. Well, those same exact people are here in America, and they run the school system, and they're deeply, deeply, deeply entrenched. So this SCOTUS victory is a victory, no doubt. And again, assuming that it's correct that they have, in fact, overturned Roe v. Wade. This is going to cause enormous fucking problems. I don't know really how they're going to react. Their focus has been exclusively to all their terror. I'm going to show some stuff in a minute. They're terrified of the Second Amendment, that what I call it's called the NYSERPA, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, NYSERPA versus Bruin or Brayon or whatever. Fucking I don't know what the name is. Let's call it Bruin decision, which is about special needs. The requirement for a citizen to show special need to the state in order to exercise the Second Amendment rights. Why is this a big deal? Well, because the state wants a monopoly on violence. Simple as, right? The state absolutely wants a monopoly on violence. And the executive branch has done everything they can, and the legislative branch has done as much as they can to make that happen. Part of it is things like this. This is an old chart from back in the days. How old? 2016. From 2016, way back in 2016. I don't know if anybody remembers that far back, but people compiled data. And you look at data, you see patterns, right? What are the patterns? In this case, show up. In this case, it's a chart showing that rich black kids are more likely to go to prison than poor white kids. I mean, anybody who's paying attention notices that the crime rate in Detroit is exponentially higher than the crime rate anywhere in the Appalachians. The Appalachian mountain areas, the poor parts of New York State, all the way down through like Tennessee, right? Kentucky, all these places, phenomenal poverty for decades and decades and decades, drug problems, other problems, except that their violent crime rate is exceptionally low. They just don't shoot and kill each other. And there are reasons for that, because white people don't kill each other over perceived disrespect. They kill each other for other reasons, but the perceived disrespect, particularly in public, is not one of them. So the reality is rich black kids are more likely to go to prison than poor white kids. And all this, of all the people that have done, like real social science, they really looked into problems and looked at what the data is and said, well, what's going on? And some of them will point to why the more edgy people like ourselves, or the people that watch this channel, who are willing to listen to ideas well outside the mainstream, whereas the smarter academics who know that they need a career, like they can't lose their job, like okay, I was dumb enough to collect this data, but fuck, shit. If I say what's causing it, I'm finished. You know what I mean? I got to go back to work, and I don't know, my uncle's business putting up fucking steel roller doors on warehouses or something, or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. So they just go, here's the data. I'm not making anything of it. But other people look at the data and go, well, we can clearly see there's a pattern, there's a trend here. So yeah, rich black kids more likely to go to prison than poor white kids. You know what I mean? As no matter how you cut the data, it's bad for the left and the narrative that it needs to enforce in order to have the moral authority to do what it does. They're running out of moral authority. Nobody really buys moral authority anymore at all, especially after the health crisis we had over the past 2 years. Nobody buys moral authority. That's all bullshit. The authority comes from, I will fire you, I will make you homeless and starving unless you do what I tell you to do. And that's not morality. That's might makes right. You know what I mean? That's pure realpolitik. That's the absolute naked exercise of power. And I think everyone, including normies, understands that now. Everyone understands that. This is why this is something, the recent thing that was, to talk about our cousins across the sea, our darling cousins across the sea with their crusty baguettes and their runny cheese. And this is something I think a lot of people, and even more so, I would say, in light of the SCOTUS decision, I think this is even more relevant than a couple of days ago when it was put out. And I think this is from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, one of the UK papers. White House claims that Joe Biden can win in 2024 despite the low polling. Chief of Staff Ron Klain, that sounds like a fellow white, points to French President Emmanuel Macron's re-election with just 36% approval rating. So you can have an approval rating in the mid 30s. This was from April 24, just less than 2 weeks ago of this year. So is it possible Joe Biden can win even though he only has 30% support? Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Of course you can win, And if the executive branch or the people that are running the executive branch feel like it's their only shot, and that may be what they're feeling right now, because they absolutely do not control the Supreme Court. And it's a crazy thing where, in my mind, where Trump put 3 people on the court, right? He put Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett, Comey Barrett, 3 goys. You know what I mean? The most handpicked goys you could pick, but it seems like they have really, grossly interpreted their role as Sanhedrin. You know what I mean? But the thing about a Supreme Court appointment is that's fuck you money. It's a job for life. The hugest part of this, history will look back, was the Obama administration had 8 years to convince Ruth Bader Ginsburg to, like, your health is bad, step aside, pick a successor, and then we'll, like, he could have had much more influence. But she's like, fuck you. I've sunk my fangs into this, and I'm going to suck every drop of blood out of it. Like, I'm going to die literally on the bench. And that cost them that one insane egomaniac, midgety little goblin, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, may have caused them headaches that will not be done with for decades. They're going to, at this point, again, if Roe v. Wade is flipped and this NYSERDA verdict goes through, I would expect that the globalists, our fellow whites, the small hats, the people who don't eat bacon, those who go to worship on Saturday, I would expect them to go out of their fucking minds, looking to expand the court, 12 justices, 15 justices, as many as they can get. I don't know how they're going to make that happen, but they're going to lobby for that in every way, shape, and form. You know what I mean? In every way, like they're going to do, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's going to be real interesting to watch. But this is the separation of powers. This is executive branch. This is the decentralized approach to problem solving, right? Approach to governance, I should say, which is ultimately problem solving. So nobody expected this. To be honest, I didn't expect this. I thought the big SCOTUS thing this year, the big hand grenade they were going to throw in the middle of the crowd, was the Second Amendment thing. And the reason why is because from the stuff that I see, like this, this is a good one. This is like, I saw this in the local. I look when I go through supermarkets and convenience stores and stuff like that. I always look at the newspapers. You get in New York, you get to see all the big papers, right? The Daily News, the New York Post, which is not so big, but the Daily News is nationwide, right? I think the Post is that big. But you see the Wall Street Journal, you see the New York Times, you see the Economist frequently, right? The Economist, couple of, you don't see the Washington Post up here, but I go to Dulles all the time. I see the Washington Post when I go to Dulles. You know what I mean? This is from 26th April, 2022. Why they interviewed the district attorney of Manhattan, why is he all of a sudden concerned? But, he's referencing NYSERDA versus Bruin, right? Could well wind up invalidating the may carry concealed weapon permitting systems in many states. That's like 9 big states. It's New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Hampshire, a couple of other ones. Effectively opening the floodgates on our streets to countless additional handguns, right? as if simply the idea of owning a handgun is what drives the crime rate. Okay, not that it's criminals, not that it's Negroes killing each other or perceived disrespect. It's the mere existence that the handgun you have in your bedroom or perhaps in your gun safe or whatever is now going to move outside your domicile, and that is going to lead to unprecedented increase in violent crime or violence in the United States. So this is the narrative they're setting up in advance, right? This particular Supreme Court decision is going to have effects, and this is how they're going to sell that we need more than 9 justices. This is how they're going to at least try to sell. We need 12 justices. We need 15 justices, because when there were only 9 justices, they let these handguns, let everyone carry a gun. And of course, crime, we went through the roof and it's all out of control and we have to stop them. And the only way we can stop them is by having 12 people on the Supreme Court, 17 people on the Supreme Court, whatever they need to give the imprimatur, right, the stamp of legal authority to their agenda, right? They need to have that, right? You don't. Part of the reason we always talk about, what the future is going to be like under a Bitcoin standard is it has to conform to the U.S. Constitution. It must be legal. You are not nothing lasting is built. Like you may have this fantasy. Johnny Depp's in the news right now because he did those stupid pirate movies. But like you may have a fantasy about being a pirate. Like, oh, it's great to be a pirate. I'll have a parrot and a big fucking earring and an eye patch and a fucking handkerchief and a sword and shit. Where's the sword? Here, you'll wave the sword around and you'll be like a fucking pirate and you'll sail around and drink rum and whatever you think you're gonna do, right? Those stupid pirate movies. You may think that that's a great fantasy, and it's as a fantasy, sure, that's fine. But the reality is nothing is built on that, right? All criminals are are parasites who feed off of a larger civilization. That's the reality. So if you're going to build anything that lasts, it has to be legal. It cannot be based in illegal or criminal behavior. That's not going to work. Okay. So the powers that be are going to try and increase the size of the Supreme Court to, again, 12, 15, 18, however fucking many they need. You know what I mean? They got that one, whatever, like half black, half Jewish chick, whatever. She just sailed right through, but she's not enough. And they're going to lose 2 big things, right? They're going to lose this. Where's the other one? Here's another example of the media, right? It's also New York. It's also from New York, but technically this, I don't know, or at least in the last 2 years, it was perceived as a right-wing newspaper. It isn't. There is no such a fucking right. Right-wing is a pure fucking fantasy thing. It does not exist. From our friends at the New York Post, which is sometimes a great newspaper, but it's not as great as it used to be. It was particularly great in the 1980s. Here it is from April 30th, 2022. Pray the Supreme Court doesn't leave New York defenseless to control the flood of weapons on the streets. This fits in with that phony ghost guns narrative and all this other shit. There's going to be a flood. It's going to be a biblical thing. Oh my God, it's like Noah. Noah's going to have to put all the animals on the Staten Island ferry and carry them to Westchester in order to, I don't know who the fuck knows what they're saying. Some stupid shit. But then, because what we have is this. This is a good Twitter follow, FPC Firearms Policy Coalition. Pointed out, it's a little bit the wrong screenshot, but fuck it. It's we're you're getting what you pay for here. What you're saying, good the show is free because I wouldn't fucking watch it. The production values are absolute shit. You're right. The production values are shit. Okay. The NYPD's, this is from Firearms Policy Coalition, taking an article from the New York Post on 2nd of May, 2022, which is today. The NYPD's new anti-gun teams are mainly conducting car stops to find illegal weapons as part of a recycled strategy that only turned up 3 firearms during the first few weeks, a post-analysis has found. So I think they're saying there's been, like, last year there was 1,800 shootings in New York City. So that's what, 1,800 divided by 365. What is that? 5 shootings a day. That's about average. 5 people getting hit every day. That doesn't mean that's not the number of rounds that are fired. There's probably there's only a 20% hit rate. So 1,800 shootings is probably, 10,000 rounds fired. Probably like 10,000 rounds fired. So the new anti-rape gun strategy in New York City is don't go to where black people are. Don't go to the projects. Don't go to the Bronx, East New York. Don't go to Jamaica, Queens. Where there was a great video of a dude that got shot in the subway a couple of days ago on Twitter. Don't go there and be racist and pat down black people. That's wrong. Pull over white people driving on the Bell Parkway or on the fucking whatever, on the fucking not on the Long Island Expressway, on the whatever, the New England Thruway or whatever, fucking the West Side Highway. Like, pull over white people in cars and hope that you find a gun. You know what I mean? That's not working out real well. and all the NYPD knows that. Now, the cops probably don't mind because there's a lot of cops that are really risk averse these days. They don't want to shoot nobody. They don't want to get in a shootout. So they don't want to pull over anybody in the Bronx. They don't want to go into these buildings. They don't want to go into projects and fucking, walk through the stairwells, and grab these fucking guys because it could end up in a shooting and then that could end your career, send you to prison for life. So they'd be more than happy to pull over white kids who may or may not be smoking weed in a fucking souped up Honda Accord because it's safer for them. And, they're getting paid the same whether they catch you or they don't fucking catch you. You know what I mean? Whether they get a gun arrest, they don't get a gun arrest. But 3 gun arrests since the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? It's May already. It's fucking May. You know what I mean? Five months in and they got 3 gun arrests. That's how disconnected from reality their policies are. But the troops, the cops, they'll for more, like I said, the more than fucking do that because it's super low fucking risk for them. And they get paid the same. You know what I mean? It's a go home with no holes to unindicted fucking murder or denying somebody civil rights because some psycho fucking dindu decided he went to shoot a cop today and get paid the same. And, when you get your fucking 20 years in, Bing, put in your fucking papers and fucking retire. And that's 100% what they're doing. That is 100% what they're doing. And I thought that was going to be like the big fucking driver of shit these days, but maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so now what do we got? I showed this before. I'm going to show this again as let's remind people. This is one possible future. I was very convinced of this, and I'm still somewhat convinced of this, but I don't know. The problem is we're not in the exact same historical position as Germany post-World War I. Chris Olton did the video of the guy who stabbed the cop in the neck with a screwdriver. Yes, I did. I posted that on Twitter, Chris Olton. The only dindu in the class who decided he was going to go there, and it's a concealed carry permit class in some, I don't know what state it was, but he decided he was going to go in there with a sharpened screwdriver and rob people who, like, there's 8 or 10 people in the class. I've taken classes just like that. He's going to rob them with a sharpened screwdriver. He's going to take their gun away. These are not high IQ people. Okay, so this chart I've shown before. It's the price of gold relative, the price of the gold Deutschmark relative to the paper Deutschmark from the years 1914 to the year 1923. And the red squiggly lines going wildly up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's the monthly price of gold, okay? And the black line, which is fairly flat until about 1918, 1919-ish, and then starts rising through the 20s. And in the early 1920s, just seems to go straight up, parabolic, like straight up. And the value of a gold Deutschmark goes from 10,000 paper Deutschmarks to 1 billion, that's billion with a B, paper Deutschmarks. And people said, well, that's going to happen in the US because of money printing. Well, the question is it, right? Here's a Twitter follow that there's a lot of people with Weimar vibes, as they say. What is the account? Which Wall Street Silver? I can't remember how many followers they have, but it's pretty big. And the guy's showing a chart of was it the S&P or is it the Dow? It is the the S&P 500. So if you look, there's a couple of marks on this chart. I'll make it larger so it's easier to see. But right about in the center of the chart, you see a curved red arrow pointing downward, and that says .com bubble. So the peak before that was the 1999 .com bubble, and then that was a decline, the trough, the low point of the decline. Then the market rises again, sort of to about the same level until about 2008, and then the housing bubble crash, and then the red mark that's curved going upwards is the base of the 2008 recession, and the big giant red mark in the upper right-hand corner of the screen is where we are now. And if you look at that shape, that lower left to upper right-hand shape, that kind of looks Weimar. It kind of sort of looks Weimar, but I have to tell you, I don't really think that, I don't think we're there yet. I think the bubble gets blown up higher and higher and higher. And I don't think we crash this year for a bunch of reasons. In the chat, James, do you believe the bubble will pop and then recover? I believe we will see stagnation for years. I think the bubble will pop, and I think eventually, after a lot of desperate attempts to control things, people will lose all trust in government and government paper. And then I think Bitcoin will become the global reserve currency. That's what I think is going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. Right now, the money still mostly works for people. One of the things, I'm no expert on Weimar Germany, but I think I'm a fairly astute observer of human behavior. And while people are nervous right now, and I can see that, the way I judge that, I go to a lot of gasoline stations in a lot of different places, right? And every now and then, I can do this like maybe one day a week because everyone's so fucking panicky. The more people panic at gasoline stations, the more gasoline they buy, believe it or not. And then, of course, that just drives price increases and lowers the stock of gasoline. But I look at the long lines by the Costco, which the Costco gasoline stations are, do I own gold? No, I do not own gold. All in on Bitcoin, 21st century digital gold, not 5,000 BC physical gold. That's not me. When I see the lines at these Costco, these discount gas stations, they're packed all the time. It used to be you'd see them on Friday afternoon, and then Monday the gas station would be empty. However, now you have the price of fuel has gone up fucking 100% almost from where it was, 87%. And people are constantly buying. Like as soon as that little needle dips to the halfway point, they fill up again, and they're very, very panicky. I look at them and I sit and I look at everybody, look at all these different lines, and I chat with the guys who pump the gas, and I go, it's been busy for weeks, right? They're like, oh man, it's nonstop. So, and that's not driven by the fact that people are driving that much more. Nobody fucking drives more than me. Literally, nobody fucking drives more than I do. Okay. These people are all normies driving 10, 12,000 miles a year. You know what I mean? Maybe slightly more than that. But they're panicky. They're always at the fucking gas station because they're terrified of running out of gas and not being able to get to work or get to wherever they're going to be. And this kind of low level, the panic, don't panic. This kind of thing I see again and again and again, and it doesn't seem to be going away. The price of gasoline in New Jersey right now, about $4-ish a gallon. A little higher, a little lower. You might find it for $3.99. You might find it for $4.10. But looking at how many people line up and are continually lining up, they're terrified to be out of this thing. And their anxiety is focused on the price of gasoline, which, mind you, is important. The price of energy has importance, okay, to everyday life. Part of the reason why the stock market crashed last week, we had data that the economy contracted 1.4%. Amazon missed its earnings per share by 3-point-something billion. And the Dow dropped like a motherfucker on Wednesday. It pumped on Thursday, which I knew was a fake out. And Friday it fucking plummeted. The S&P plummeted like 3.5% almost, 3.4%. But I don't think this is the end. It's not the end because, and I'm telling you, until shit really stops working, until we can't afford food at all anymore, until normies start just going into stores and fucking stealing shit, like just stealing groceries on the regular, we're not going to hit Weimar conditions. That Weimar, if it comes, is still some years away. It's still a couple of years away. It's not right around the corner. People say, well, you're such a fucking, you're always pushing doom porn. I want to tell people what the reality is going to be. I don't want to sugarcoat stuff. And because there's still a window of time for you to prepare, you should prepare. Okay. And I've said it before, and I will say it as plain as I can say it. If you're holding your wealth in Zog bucks, that is an unwise choice. That is an unwise choice. If you're holding your wealth in something that's controlled by Zog, like stocks or bonds, the government, whether it's government issued paper, corporate paper, it's also an extremely unwise choice. I understand like Chris Alton in the chat. Oh, well, what about gold? What about gold? Listen, gold is not going anywhere, and it's not going to be the basis of an economy in the future. The future is like this. You're not living without the internet. None of you, for all your return to tradition, whatever the fuck you dopey shit you fucking post on fucking social media, because you're nonstop connected to social media. You couldn't live without the internet for fucking 5 hours, much less fucking 5 years. Everyone's going to be connected to the internet all the time, period, end of fucking story. And you cannot send gold through the internet. You just can't. That can't be done. All right? So whatever, what's his name? When you look at guys like our buddy, he's not our buddy. He's not our guy. He's not our friend. He's not a friend of ours. He's not a friend. What am I talking about? Here. This fucking cunt. And it's worth asking yourself, and this is a bit of a leading question on my part, but it is definitely worth asking yourself, why the fuck is this guy talking about fucking Bitcoin? Like you could sit there and you could say to yourself, well, listen, James, you fucking drive boxes 6 days a week. You drive a fucking shitty old Toyota with a handmade sign that says, all hustle and fucking no luck. You know what I mean? And you live in a 1-bedroom apartment in New Jersey, and you have a life that doesn't have a lot of material fucking wealth. And so, of course, you're obsessed with this magic internet money. Yeah, okay, fine. You know what I mean? You know what? I will let you have that. I will give that to you. But I'm going to ask you a question. And here's the question. Why the fuck is Warren Buffett talking about Bitcoin? Why the fuck does Warren Buffett obsess about fucking Bitcoin? This is from today, 2nd May 2022. Warren Buffett. If you offered me all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, I wouldn't take it. And there's video of this fucking cunt going on and on and on. Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. You're the 3rd richest man in the world. What the fuck do you give a shit for? If Bitcoin is not worth $25, why the fuck are you spending so much time talking about it? You're a fucking billionaire. All right. And the answer to that question, anybody in the chat going, well, I don't know. I don't know is not a fucking answer. You're not allowed to answer, I don't know. Why does Warren Buffett obsess over this thing, which he claims is not worth, all of it is not worth $25? Why does he obsess over it? And I don't know is not an acceptable answer. Okay? You're not a fucking child. What is the fucking answer? Okay? Here's another thing. Here's something similar. Here's like a little clue. Like a little bit of a clue. Oh no, I fucked it up. Go back. Oh no. Can you imagine I fucked up something? That is incredible. How is it even possible, James? How is it even possible on this high quality, on this super high quality show that you do every Monday? Well, the last one I did sober, although I'm drinking a bottle of white wine, which is like, it ain't that good. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's a white wine from Crete. It's a little bit grapefruity. I thought it was going to be a different kind of citrus, a little bit grapefruity, which not super grapefruity, but it's a little bit grapefruity. From Bloomberg Law, what day? April 28th, 2022. This is written by someone, a chopstick American. I don't know what the fuck that is. Whatever, I can't pronounce that. Can't pronounce the first name. Last name, Yang. I can pronounce that. Probably Andrew Yang's cousin. Goldman Sachs offers its first Bitcoin-backed loan in crypto push. So if Bitcoin is as worthless as Warren Buffett claims it is, why the fuck is Goldman Sachs, the organization described as the vampire squid, right? The global vampire squid. Why does Goldman want to hold your Bitcoin and give you a big bag of fiat, right? Goldman looking to entice people who got into Bitcoin early on, right? Who have 10, 20, 50, 100, I don't know, 500, 300, 1,000 Bitcoin. Oh, do you want to borrow against your digital property? We'll be more than happy to fucking back up the Brinks truck to your little fucking wherever you live. You know what I mean? The trailer park where you live, if you just let us hold your Bitcoin. Why the fuck would Goldman Sachs do that if all of Bitcoin, all of it, is worth less than $25? That's a fair question. That's a fair question that none of you will answer. And the reason why you won't answer it is because you won't. You lack imagination. You know what I mean? You still live in a place where, quite frankly, you don't have to answer this question. But here's the beautiful thing. It's a funny thing. Like last week, Judas Fly Chai's in the chat, right? And I'm like, fuck marijuana, fucking shit, fucking weed, blah 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 blah. Everybody knows I'm a big anti-pot guy. I'm not a big fan of marijuana. And Judas Fly Chai, a big fan of marijuana, right? So it's like, oh, stop hating on weed. You have to stop. hating on weed, right? Goldman doesn't print the money, Chris Dalton. The Federal Reserve Bank prints the money. Goldman does not print the money itself. Although people pass from Goldman to the Federal Reserve to the Treasury. Yes, they win either way. However, what do they want? They don't want your gold coins, right? They're not asking for Chris Altman's gold coins. They're not saying, hey, Chris, yo, what's up? We got this big vault over here. Look at this big steel door. We got guards with guns and shit. You know what I mean? Like 6 shooters or fucking Glocks. Just give us your gold and we'll give you a big pile of fiat. They're not saying that, right? They're saying give us your Bitcoin. So, and again, there's a reason for that. You just lack the ability to fucking understand that for whatever that ability is. I don't know what it is, but that's what it is. So Goldman wants to loan you fiat, wants to take your coin and give you fucking fiat, which literally, Bitcoin was designed to destroy the fiat system. These guys do not get it. So here's an example of them not getting it. Where are that? Where's our buddies, our pals? Mr. Klaus Schwab. Und my name is Klaus. Guten Tag. Guten Tag, mein Herr. My name is Klaus Schwaben. Klaus and the Schwaben. Goldman is not printing. Goldman does not print. You must be factually correct, Chris Altman. I don't care what your opinions are. You must be factually correct. The Federal Reserve prints. Does Goldman get it first? Sure. Are they closest to the fucking fire hose? Absolutely. The Cantillon effect, 100%. They get the fresh batch of counterfeit money, which they use to buy real fucking assets. But they're not the actual ones who print. Okay. World Economic Forum. They had this video. This was on Twitter. It was actually it was a well done video, but it was total shit. A change in the way Bitcoin is coded could almost eliminate its environmental impact. So hey, Bitcoin guys, want a virtue signal? And then below that it says experts. Who are these experts? They have found a way to cut Bitcoin's carbon footprint by 99.9%. Okay, dumb fuck. You are dumb fucks because Bitcoin's code is open source. Bitcoin's code is open source. What that means is anybody can rewrite Bitcoin. I've said this before. Listen to me. Anyone can write Bitcoin code. You can rewrite all of Bitcoin like that. No one's going to stop you. No one is going to stop you. You can rewrite it tomorrow. However, you have to get everyone to accept this new version of Bitcoin. Why would they accept your new version, your upgrade, your improvement of Bitcoin? Why? The World Economic Forum says, well, that way you could reduce your carbon footprint. We don't give a fuck about carbon footprint. We know that's bullshit. What is my incentive to do it your way? The World Economic Forum, which is a group of which is a front group for small hats, which is a front group for the fucking Rothschilds, are accustomed to getting one person, usually an authoritarian leader, a monarch, to just issue a fucking edict, right? And everyone just follows along. And they think they can do that to Bitcoin. Well, you can't do that to Bitcoin. I will never agree to whatever their fucking version of Bitcoin is, ever. What happens in that case is what's called a fork, right? The software forks. It splits between the World Economic Forum version of Bitcoin, whatever the fuck that's going to look like, and then our version that we currently use. Because we reject their idea. I have talked about the concept of consensus governance, right? This is an idea that I think is going to rule the earth eventually, but it certainly rules Bitcoin now. You can change anything you want in Bitcoin. Amazingly, here's what I would bet. If you took the time to change Bitcoin, you would change it so that all the Bitcoin was in your pocket. I bet that's the way you would fucking change it. Amazingly, you'd be surprised no one wants to go along with that. Nobody wants to go along with that. And that's what the World Economic Forum wants to do. Oh, just change Bitcoin and then you'll be good people. Fuck you. We hate you. Like we hate you. We hate you. We hate you. Where is it? Is this the one? I believe this is it. This was one of the first fucking memes. All right. This is the first meme. They don't understand who they are talking to. You don't understand whom you are trying to convince. This was one of the first memes that fucking popped up. Chris Alton, they are lending money they don't have. They aren't lending money, they're lending counterfeit. And here's the meme, right? There's a picture of Klaus Herr Schwaben. A change in the way Bitcoin is coded could almost eliminate its environmental impact. And that's what we think. We think about hitting you in the head with a Louisville slugger until your face looks like a crushed fucking watermelon. Fuck you from now until 10 minutes after the universe fucking ends. After the entire universe blows up and ends and all life everywhere ends, fuck you for 10 more minutes. Okay? You don't, they are accustomed to doing things the fiat way, right? They're accustomed to being the ones in charge of the money. They don't understand self-custody. They don't understand sovereignty. Look who's here. Our friend Zoo, welcome to the show. WF is pushing Bitcoin to proof of stake. That doesn't even work. Proof of stake is centralization. Welcome to the show, Mr. I mine Ethereum for $1,500 a month. I got something for you, Zoo. Thank God. Thank you for showing up, Zoo. Zoo, thank you for showing up. A brief discussion, little discussion on Zoo was I don't know. He was bragging about his electric bill was $1,500. He mines Ethereum and he sells it. This is my electric bill. That's my electric bill, right? $10.67. $10.67. That's how much. That's how much electricity I use. Because, like I said, I'm never fucking here. I'm never here. I do this show occasionally. I like it, whatever. I had to turn on a few lights. You know what I mean? And I'm out the door all the time. I'm the one keeping America's GDP going. You're jealous. I'm not. Listen, dude. I don't have like your big Ethereum bucks, Zoo driving around in this fucking Lambo with all those rooftop Korean friends. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of kooks, and you know, spending all those Ethereum bucks. Not me. I got work to do. Which, by the way, I was talking to some black dude down in Dulles, and at Signature Flight Support, and I asked him how many flights, what their flight schedule was, and what they told me was on any given day in Dulles, Virginia, at Signature Flight Support, which is not the only FBO, not the only private jet port in Dulles, but it's the one that Warren Buffett owns. And the one that I deliver to most often. I don't deliver always to them. There's other ones I deliver to, but I deliver there a lot. And they handle 175 private jet flights every fucking day in and day out. That's Washington, D.C. They are the busiest facility for Signature Flight Support in the nation. Like New York is not more. Like JFK doesn't have more. Newark doesn't have more. I don't think they're at LaGuardia. I haven't seen them at LaGuardia, but they're at JFK and they're at Newark. Nobody has 175 private jets landing and taking off from Washington, D.C. every fucking day. Do you think this party is going to stop anytime soon? They're going to do whatever the fuck they need to do to keep it fucking rolling. And that is print. That's do any fucking thing. Like I said last week, these guys have full spectrum dominance. You know what I mean? And they're not giving it. They're not going to give it up just because you yell at them and point and go, listen, you fucking lousy small hat. You've been a liar and a cheater for 150 years in America, and we're gonna vote you out with the Republicanism or whatever the fuck you think you're gonna do. It's not gonna happen, bro. Not gonna happen. Okay, it's Bitcoin or bust. There's no better idea out there. There's no more durable idea out there. There's no idea out there that is making more changes. The other thing that happened, Central African Republic. Most people didn't know it existed. I didn't know it existed. Central African Republic is the second country to adopt Bitcoin as legal currency. The president of the Central African Republic, believe it or not, has not one but two doctorates in mathematics. So he's actually really, like, if he was just one, you would say it was like a affirmative action thing. But yeah, so a second country, 2 down, 193 to go. Okay, there are 2 nations that have adopted Bitcoin as its legal currency. You say to yourself, for a white supremacy cryptocurrency, it's being adopted by a lot of brown people. There's brown people in El Salvador, which are basically like Mexicans, and then the Central African Republic. Zoo in the chat. By the way, ETH developers dropped the difficulty bomb, which is slowly making proof of work mining unprofitable, preparing for a switch to proof of stake, but they can't decide to push back the bomb yet or not. Bitcoin doesn't have this. You're right. Bitcoin development is, it's funny. They always, like, it's one of those things that's fun. That's fear, uncertainty. That like Bitcoin development has stopped. Well, you know what? We're on the internet now, right? TCP/IP is the internet protocol that was developed in like 1989, and it was worked on until about the mid 90s, and then it was basically perfected. And no one works on TCP/IP anymore because there's no money in it, and there's nothing you need to do. It's working. They made it in a way that it can scale to where we are now. And I remember the internet in 1995-ish. You know what I mean? We weren't doing like you. If I want to see a picture of something, I would click on the fucking picture, and then I would go leave the room and go make fucking coffee and have a cup of coffee and come back in 15 minutes with my 14.4K fucking modem, downloaded the fucking the JPEG image. Get the fucking. Now I do a fucking a worldwide, theoretically worldwide, YouTube show from a fucking smartphone. You know what I mean? So TCP/IP has essentially been perfected. Has Bitcoin been perfected? I don't know, but there's nothing out there. Again, convince us how changing Bitcoin is good for us. Why is it good for me? Right? I don't believe in climate change. I believe in nuclear power. I 100% believe in there should be nuclear power plants, 10 of them in every fucking state in the United States. Okay? Like all this green shit I know comes from Enron. I know it's a fucking scam. I know carbon credits are fucking it's La Cosa Nostra fucking new fucking way to literally tax every fucking breath you take because you emit carbon dioxide. Can you imagine? You have to pay money to go fucking jogging or something. Speaking of which, oh yeah, shit. This is my big excitement today. This is how crazy you are when you become a Bitcoin person. I don't think people might not know this. Where is it? Here we go. You're gonna go, James, really with this shit? Like, really already? Because will you fucking stop it? Will you fucking stop it? No, I will not. I will not stop. So always looking to improve my fitness. And one of the things I don't get to do as much. There's a lot of equipment I don't have. And there's a thing that that people do in gyms. They flip truck tires. They flip over truck tires, like giant truck tires or car tires and stuff. And is big oil responsible for anti-nuclear? No, the Jews are. It came from Switzerland back in the 30s. The Rockefellers would not have been opposed to that. Look up Chris Alton. There's on YouTube. It's called the plutonium economy. I think what killed the plutonium economy? Really interesting. It's like a 45-minute video of a guy giving a speech. A guy who was a chemical engineer who got into the nuclear thing in the 30s and 40s, and was going to buy up all the nuclear waste from nuclear power plants and use it to basically create almost free electricity for everyone. And that guy got shut down. At any rate, okay. So what's up on the screen now? What's up on the screen now is a fresco of, I'm not sure where this is. This is somewhere in Greece. It might be in Athens. But what are we looking at? We're looking at a dude that's pushing on something, like he's pushing something up over his head, like a giant. I think it's a piece of a log or a tree, and there's a woman behind him pointing at his middle back or his hips or his basically pointing at his back and his hips. And what this is just somebody flipping something over, right? This is a physical exercise designed to work the muscles of the back, the hips, and the legs, which are 70% of the muscles on the human body, right? And the posterior chain, as it's called, which is necessary for forward drive, right? The stronger you can make that, the faster, stronger, harder you can move forward. And back in the Bronze and Iron Age, this was really important, particularly for the way they fought wars. It's not so easy to see on the bottom there. Picture. Somewhere in front of this guy's foot or over here is there's like a sword on the ground. So fucking what? This near me, not far from where I live, is a public park, and they're doing like tree work and stuff there. And people do flip logs, and I'm like, fuck! I wish that I live on the second floor here. I can't flip anything in my apartment. And I was driving to the park. I was like, I wonder if there's a fucking log, like a cut down fucking tree that's over there that could just flip over. You know what I mean? And I could do like that. I like pick the thing up and push. And this was honest to God, you will not believe how happy this made me. I found the fucking log. It's about as tall as me. It's about 20 inches around. I don't know how much it weighs, like 120 pounds. You have no idea how heavy that is. You squat, you pick that shit up, and then you push it away from you, and boom, it flops over. You know, and that's to me every Monday. I'm going to be doing that as just like. Right now, my shoulders feel warm. My spine feels warm. My hips and fucking like the back of my legs. You know, it actually feels nice, but you have to understand, being 56 years old, I know I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to feel like fucking everything in my body's rusted. But whatever, it'll loosen up later on. But the ability, I found the stick in the park, and you're thinking like, really? Like, what are you, a German Shepherd or something? You found the fucking stick in the park and it makes you excited? Well, for what I want to do, right? I don't want to join a fucking, I don't think there is a gym that has this stuff. But for dragging things backwards and flipping things over and doing these, what would be considered unorthodox exercises, I don't want to spend any fucking money. And this is a park that's like 10 minutes from where I fucking live. And I can go make myself fitter and fucking stronger, particularly because I sit on my ass all the fucking time, and making my spine, my shoulders, my hips stronger is a big priority for me, especially as I get older. And surprise, surprise, nature has put fucking dead trees in a fucking park next to me. And that to me, that is a gift from heaven. Anyway, so I am going to return tradition. So that's what I'll be doing every Monday. Just to add, to add that in the mix, so that hit different muscle groups, and it'll be good. Anyway, look at this. I'm like 1:13, an hour and 13 already into this. An hour and 13 into this. Chris Holton in the chat. I'm telling you the link. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to figure real quick, just super quick. Shoot over to YouTube and look through my secret YouTube playlists. And no, not that guy. No, not which one? Which one was the other one? I got so many fucking playlists of so much shit. No. Oh, this blows. I also have stuff in the wrong category, in the actual wrong category. Ah, fuck. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, where is it? Okay, here's the guy. Oh, you fucking suck. Can you see it? The guy's name is Galen, Galen, Galen Windsor, Winsor. What stopped the plutonium economy? It's on YouTube. It's tough to see. Galen Windsor. Come on. Galen Windsor. What stopped the plutonium economy? Right? Well, you know who that guy is. Well, if you know who it is, that's then you'll understand who stopped all this fucking shit. You have no idea what was stolen from you and your children. But the way it was stolen, was financially, right? When you have the power to make people rich or make them homeless, you have enormous fucking power, right? And if you do that with counterfeit or fiat money, that's how you do it, right? That's how the small hats operate. That's why everyone cooperates with them. Not because you think, oh, lucky me, I was born to be a slave to the small hats. That's not, nobody thinks that, right? But that's how they control things. And that system of control is the entire system of control. Break that and you break everything else. The only technology we have to destroy that is Bitcoin. It's not gold. It's not, when no one's going to get together and I'll point to them and go, oh, you're bad people. And they're going to go, oh my God, I'm sorry. Drop the keys to the money printer, run back to Tel Aviv. That's not what they're going to fucking do. That's not what they're going to do. And the feds like fucking Norvin and fucking OV and all the rest of them, whatever they tell you is going to happen ain't going to happen. That's a script that was written fucking Quantico, Virginia. It's designed to get you to do stupid shit to get thrown in prison. Trade your fiat for Bitcoin, okay? Self-custody your fucking Bitcoin, all right? And when what is inevitable happens, because we don't have the power to stop any of this shit, when the Weimar thing kicks in or whatever it's going to be, similar to that, not quite the same as that, you'll be in a position to have something of concentrated value, okay, that will be used to fucking restart things that you can pass on to your children and your grandchildren. And that's my worldview. I've made no secret of that. So you think you got a better idea? Love to hear it. You know what I mean? Like I said, every democracy hater, all of a sudden tomorrow is going to be like, ooh, woke up in democracy. No more abortion. The liberals are going crazy. But yeah, you're about to live in interesting times, which is you might not like as much as you think you do. Anyway, like I said, I'll try to keep these relatively short, so we're at 1 hour and 17, which is longer than I thought I was going to go. I thought it was going to be less than that. But to Chris Alton, to Zoo, to the bots, to the feds, to everybody who has shown up live and who will show up in the future. Thanks. Remember, smash up that like button before you leave. And I'll talk to you guys again next week.